Hey you guys, I just want to send a quick happy new year's to you guys and just kind of talk about like some things that I plan on doing this year for as pre-nursing goes. As you guys already know from watching my other vlog, I am like officially done in 2021. Hey, I'm like officially done with all of my prereqs classes. I've taken all of my histories, all of my anatomies. I just finished my last class in winter term. It's not done. This class is not officially ending until January the 11th, but I finished around December the 20th or 20, I think it was like the 22nd or something. So I finished like 3 weeks before this class actually ends. I'm very happy that I finished that early. One of my best advice that I can give. So I would tell like anybody, if I were you, I would definitely do like all of my, if your teacher put your classes stuff up early, go ahead and do it, you guys. Like, don't procrastinate. Knock it out. Like right now, my class is on chapter 7, section 3, and I'm done. I've been done for like before the Christmas break. So recommendation, if your teacher put your stuff up early, go ahead and do it. But anywho, so I'm already finished with all of my prerequisites. I went back, my nursing school posted a video on their YouTube channel and gave some very good information about the program. I realized that the average that they let in for the T's scores on all the sections, the minimum is 64, but the average is around 87. Okay, so with that being said, your girl got to get up on the T studying a little bit more sooner than what I wanted to. I originally wanted to do my T studying starting in March, and now I'm gonna have to start like now because now that I realize that I thought my overall score had to be a 67. I didn't know that I had to score. I thought my overall minimum score had to be 64 and the average that they allow in was 87. I didn't know that I needed to make 87% on each section, on 87 on the math, 87 on the reading, vocabulary, science. I didn't know I had to make 87 on all of them. I thought I just had to have an overall score of 87. So when I saw or heard that out my ear, I was like, oh shit. But I am going to, I do have a meeting scheduled here on the 6th with my advisor for my nursing school. So I have to get up on my job. And if you don't know me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go back and check out a lot of my other videos. And girl, I be up on my job. So definitely I have to start studying for my T's a little bit more sooner. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the reading and the math portion, studying down pack first. I've started prepping my stuff now. So what I'm doing to prep is I am making myself some flashcards in a way and writing down, like, for instance, you know how with reading you have either it's a narrative, you have to find the narrative, you have to find the depository, or if it's certain, the reading portion, you have to figure out the clues of how to get to those sections or learning what kind of paragraph or passage those paragraphs are and the meanings of them or the breakdowns of them. And honestly, I'm not that good with comprehension. I'm good with reading, but I'm not that great. So back to the plan. So the plan is to study from now until roughly June. And I know that's so long. I know you guys are probably like, wow, Crystal, that's like 6 months. You may be ready sooner. If I'm ready sooner to take the T's exam, I'm going to take it sooner. I'm not going to stretch it out and prolong it, obviously. But if I feel like I'm not ready yet, then I'm going to go ahead and wait it out until July. So I want to schedule my first T's exam for July, around the first weekend of July, because that's when I'll have the break from the kids around that time. So I'm gonna schedule it around that time. And if I'm ready sooner, I'm going to schedule it sooner. But that's just for right now. With my school, you can only take the T's twice within an application period. So my application is going to be February of 2021. I can only take it twice. So you can only take the T's twice within a two time periods within a application period. So my application period is from August until February the 1st. So I want to take at least a pre-trial one before that period happens, and that's the reason why I said I was going to schedule for July, because I want to do at least a pre-trial one first, just to kind of see, what I'm looking at and what I need to work on, because again, you only get 2 times to take it. Like my school, some people's schools are unlimited. They can do it many times as they want, but my school between application periods is only twice. And since my nursing program is only open during the fall semesters, it's like a one-shot thing. Like I really have to score good. I'm not worried about my GPA purposes because I've already got all my prerequisites GPA, so I'm going to get in with that part. The only part is the T's. So I definitely have to get on the grind with the T's and take my time and study and prepare myself. So and that's why I was telling you guys that it is just very important to me to pace myself. And I know I'm giving myself such a long time. I know I'm giving myself like a year. I go on these groups on Facebook and people are like, oh, I did my T's exam. I only studied for 2 weeks. And they got like 90s. They got like an overall 90 score. And I'm like, what? And I'm up here panicking about 6 months. But you guys know, anything I put my mind to, the people who really know me on here, like, whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do good by it, and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do right. So I'm not really worried about like really my score. And again, if I feel really good about it, you guys, don't get it twisted. I am going to go ahead and take it early if I need to. Especially once I buy the practice one from off the ATIT's website and I actually practice and I do really good on the practice. I think a lot of people on the T's group on Facebook mentioned that the practice test B is very similar to the exam. So I'm definitely going to take the practice test B for sure. Now, I'm not sure which practice test B this is. I'm not sure if this is the ATIT's practice test. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about and not like a book or something practice test. So I'm assuming they're talking about the ATIT's practice test B. And a lot of girls said that test was very similar to what they saw on the exam. And well, not really exactly what they saw, but similar questions to what was on the exam. And also, if the girl says she scored like a 92, and she said that was exactly what she scored on the practice test, so they gave her a good insight. So for me, you guys, I am really looking forward to taking the practice test. So my plan is I don't think it's going to take me 6 months. I think I'm probably going to end up scheduling myself a little bit sooner. But my school only accept, and I'm sure this is probably a couple of other people's school, but my school only accept your T's after a year. So it's only good for a year. And yes, I am planning on applying in the spring of 2022. So that means I still have like all of this remaining of the year. But I felt like the longer I pace it out, you feel me, the more chance that my application will still be good. And that's the reason why I'm just like trying to push it, because I want to be able to not miss that deadline and then I'm stuck having to take the T's again at the last minute. You feel me? So I'm trying not to do that. So that's why I'm kind of trying to stretch it out to like July so I can kind of prolong it and I don't miss my deadline, but then I also still have enough time for my T's. So that's the plan with the T's, you guys. So how I'm doing my studying at this current moment. Let me just give you guys a little bit of an insight. I have saw a couple of Quizlets. For reading, this is just for the reading portion. I am just trying to get the basic knowledge of the reading portion down packed first, like, knowing what kind of passage it is, knowing what to look for when they're asking for a main topic and all that stuff. So I'm doing that part first. And then I'm also making a Quizlet study guide for myself, but I've also ran across a couple of people with Quizlets, and I'm going to do that studying. I can't say exactly if this is going to work until after I've taken my test. So you guys probably won't see me upload a lot of videos about how I study for the T's, because it's kind of pointless if I don't succeed with it. Then you guys like, girl, you failed, so why are you giving us these bull crap, tips? so I don't want to tell you guys like, I don't want to tell you guys like, girl, yeah, I did this, I'm doing this, I'm doing it. I don't want to give you all the tea right now, because it's kind of pointless to give it to you if I haven't actually succeeded in it yet. So I'd rather get my T-score and go from there, and then I can kind of pass on that info, that good tea, okay? So just bear with me, but I am gonna, you probably see me do videos of me studying for it. I'm gonna be doing like flashcards. I'm gonna be doing online flashcard makers and different things like that for the reading portion, as well as for science. I know for sure for science, the good thing about the anatomy and physiology part is because I just recently taken those 2 classes. I took my anatomy 2 in the spring of 20. And then I took my anatomy 1 in the fall of 19. So they're fairly new on my brain, and it won't be that hard for me to grasp what I'm looking at, even though I'm still going to refresh my memory, but they won't be that hard for me, So A&P is fairly new to me. So I'm not going to be that hard on myself with anatomy, physiology. It's just more of a refresher course for me because I just recently taken it within the year, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. So we basically, I'm good with that. So let me kind of give you guys an insight on my approach with what I'm doing first. So as you guys know, I've already stated that I'm taking reading first. I'm prepping myself for reading first. With reading, I'm trying to learn what are the primary sources, what is a secondary source, even a tertiary source. I just learned what that one was. I don't think that's actually something that's on the quiz because they don't mention it in any of these study manuals, but it's still nice to know. Also knowing the passage types, knowing expository, if it's a persuasive, if it's a narrative, learning those things. So my approach is learning the lingo first, learning the material of what you're looking for first, learning the definition, learning the definitions, learning the lingo, understanding what you're going to be looking for. How are you going to know what a persuasive, even though we all know what persuade means, but if you didn't know what persuade means, how are you going to know if a passage is persuade if you don't know the definition of what persuasive is? So persuasive is basically indicating an opinion or something like an email or a novel or words, certain words you need to look out for. Oh, we should go to the mall, or this would be nice, or this seemed to be best for us. Those kind of words let you know, like if you see those words in like the first sentence or the second sentence, you already know that's going to be a persuasive passage. So basically, this is my approach: learning the lingo first, learn the material, what you need to learn, and then I'm going to start using the apps, and then that's when the practice tests are going to come in for me. So that's how my approach is. So I that's my approach. So, and I feel like that's going to be effective for me because obviously you do need to learn the material first. You do need to know what you're looking for. How are you going to know what a narrative passage is if you don't even know what a narrative means? So that's what I'm approaching mine as. So first we're learning the material. Then we're going to do some practice Quizlets to help us with this learning material. So even though I'm learning material, I'm not actually learning the passages portions first. I'm actually quizzing myself on making sure I understand what the lingo is. So I may have a Quizlet made up for a narrative, and it may have, hey, I need to learn. It may say a narrative passage is bam, 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 A, B, C, or D. And that's what I'm going to be learning first. It's my steps. And then after I do that, then I'm going to work on the apps to kind of help with those. And then next we're going to do the actual practice tests, practice quizzes and stuff like that. So, and I think that's going to be a helpful success for me, you guys. And I'm happy to bring you guys along for the journey if there's videos on there that I can do. Once I take the ATIT's practice test, at that point, then I'm probably going to end up seeing what areas that I need to work on. But the ATITs practice test, the one that you have to pay for, that's going to be like the final thing I do. That's going to be after I notice that my scores are going up on all of the practice ones. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the ATITs practice, because I'm not going to pay for anything if I know I'm not ready. And nobody got time to be wasting no money like that. We ain't a nurse yet. We trying to get to be a nurse. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you have any helpful tips or recommendations, or anybody, please leave a comment below.